Homeowners can actually become unknowing victims of roofing scams right now because of the shingle shortage. I'm Tracy Bookman, owner of Homestead Roofing, and in this video I'm going to tell you about 3 specific scams that you as a homeowner really have to watch out for during these unprecedented times of the shingle shortage that's happening right now. So the first scam that you as a homeowner really need to watch out for is roofers that are selling you what is called seconds materials. So these are materials that have been, for whatever reason, rejected by the manufacturers. So they could be overstock shingles, they could be discontinued shingles. One of the main reasons that a shingle gets turned into the seconds market is because of color variations. Maybe the colors just aren't correct. And we're going to talk about that, how that affects you here in just a second. So why is this really a problem for you as a homeowner? Well, first of all, if the shingles that you're buying are being rejected because there are problems with the colors, or the colors aren't exactly what the manufacturer specified that they should be, how are you as a homeowner going to know that all of the bundles of shingles that are being delivered to your house have the same tone quality of color in the granules that are on top of the asphalt? And by this, what I mean is, you've probably, I don't know if you look at roofs or not, but if you're driving around a neighborhood and you're looking at roofs, you're probably going to notice roofs that have the same color shingle, but 2 different tones of that color. And oftentimes you'll see it go up like in a diagonal stripe up the roof. The reason for that specifically is most of the time it's because those shingles have come from 2 different plants from the same manufacturer, and they don't have their colors set exactly the same. Well, if you're getting seconds materials, if the shingles have been rejected due to color variations, well, there could be multiple color variations within that lot of seconds shingles that are getting delivered to your house. And so ask yourself, do you want to get a roof installed that possibly could have 2 different tones or 3 different tones of shingles? And when that occurs, those different tones are all going to be lumped together. So it's going to be very obvious. But more importantly, if these shingles are being rejected by the manufacturers, then they're not going to have a manufacturer's name on them, and they're not going to have a manufacturer's warranty against product defect. That means that if your roofer is using seconds materials on your house, more than likely that product isn't going to be warranted against product defects. So if this is what's going on for you and you're okay with it, then you have to make sure that you're using a roofer who is going to warranty that product against any defective material. Okay, so the reason that I put this in the category of a scam is because the dishonest roofers aren't telling homeowners that they're putting seconds materials on the roof, and so the homeowner is unaware that he's getting potentially a product that is of lesser quality and a product that may not look the same when it's on the roof, and also a product that probably doesn't have any kind of a warranty on it. But as long as you're aware that that's what your roofer is doing and you're okay with that, then fine, move ahead. It's not a scam if your roofer is divulging that information to you. It's a scam if he's selling you a name brand product, but you're not getting a name brand product put on your roof. The second scam involves roofers that may be selling you a product that is of inferior quality to what they're representing the material to actually have. The classic example of this that we've seen several times is roofers that are telling you that they're selling you an impact resistant shingle when really they're just installing a standard shingle on your roof. And this actually happens frequently, even when there's not a shingle shortage. And it happens especially when you have a roofer who's telling you that he's going to upgrade you to an impact resistant shingle for free, because then he's going to try to make up the money that he's supposedly giving away to you somehow. Now, I'm not saying that every roofer that says that he's going to upgrade you for free to an impact resistant shingle is going to scam you and put a standard shingle on your roof, but we've seen that happen enough times to know that that's a real scam. And actually we even created a video about it, which you can watch right here. So right now the impact resistant shingles are in much higher demand than the standard shingles. So therefore the standard shingles are much more available. So if you have a roofer who's telling you that he's going to upgrade you to impact resistant shingles, whether he's charging you for it or whether he's doing it for free, the temptation is going to be there for the dishonest roofer to actually buy standard shingles and put that on your roof, because the impact resistant shingles are considerably more expensive than the standard shingles. So if you live in a neighborhood where your neighbors are all telling you that their roofers are telling them that they have to wait weeks or maybe even months to get their roofs installed because the shingles aren't available, but you have a roofer who somehow tells you that he can get you shingles next week and get the job installed, and he's even going to be able to install impact resistant shingles, that's a red flag. That should cause you to be suspicious a little bit. And I think that the reason that we're seeing this scam happening a lot over the last couple of years is because the dishonest roofers know that you as a homeowner aren't going to know the difference when the shingles are delivered to your house, because most of the time the shingle bundles are delivered to your roof, and you're probably not going to climb up on your roof to inspect the shingle bundle wrapper to make sure that it says impact resistant shingle. So the dishonest roofers feel like they can get away with this scam because they can order the standard shingles. You're not going to know the difference, and therefore they can install it and you're going to be none the wiser for it. So how do you protect yourself against this particular scam? Ask the roofer to either show you the wrapper from the bundle, or take a photo of the bundle and show you, or you get a photo of the bundle yourself. And what you want to look for is you want to look for it saying impact resistant, or if you've bought an upgraded shingle, like perhaps the pro level or a premium level shingle as opposed to the standard shingle, make sure that the wrapper on the shingle actually says that. You want to make sure that the roofer has actually delivered the product to your house that he said that he's going to install on your roof in the contract, and you want to make sure that that's the product that you're actually getting. Hey, if you're a roofer or a homeowner, let us know if you've heard of any other scams that are happening right now during the shingle shortage or because of the shingle shortage. Leave those in the comments down below. The third scam involves stolen shingles, and this happens primarily when the shingle supply company either can't or doesn't load the new shingle bundles up onto your roof, but instead they leave them on a pallet down on the ground next to your garage, in your front yard, somewhere like that. When that happens, those shingles are vulnerable to being stolen. Because shingles are in such short supply, and not just shingles, but a lot of different roofing materials are in such short supply right now, there's a very targeted black market for them. And the scammers have actually set up black market storage yards where roofers can buy or sell stolen shingles. All right, well, you might be tempted to think, okay, well, if the shingles get delivered and they're on the ground outside my house and they get stolen, well, that's an inconvenience for me as the homeowner, but it's really the roofer's problem. You would be wrong if you thought that. See, most roofers' contracts specify that once the materials are delivered to your property, those materials are now your property. So if the shingle materials that are sitting on the ground get stolen, that's your property that's getting stolen, especially if you've written a check to the roofer for a deposit for the materials. Okay, but why would a shingle supplier leave shingles on the ground if they're more vulnerable to being stolen? Well, a lot of the reasons for that are right now specifically because it takes a very specific type of truck to be able to deliver the materials to the roof. It has to have either a boom or a conveyor belt on it or something like that. Whereas if they're going to deliver it to the ground, then they can use a standard truck that has a forklift on the back of it, and they can just lift it right off the truck and drop the whole pallet on the ground outside your house. And since those trucks are much more available, then supply companies can get your delivery done faster if you approve having a ground drop, or if your roofer approves having a ground drop, as opposed to having the materials loaded on the roof. But another reason that your shingles might have to be left on the ground instead of being put on the roof is if there's not access for the conveyor to reach your roof, or if your roof is too steep for the workers to safely be on it and to load the shingles onto the roof. Those are some other reasons why they won't get loaded to the roof. It's not always just a matter of convenience. Sometimes it's a matter of safety. But I would strongly suggest that you ask your roofer to be sure to have the materials loaded on your roof instead of leaving them on the ground. That probably is going to cause your delivery to be delayed by maybe even 2, 3, 4 weeks. But it's a much better situation for you as a homeowner so that your roofing material isn't vulnerable to being stolen. But if the materials do have to be left on the ground, well, what do you do at that point? Well, you could ask your roofer to have his crew and himself come back over to your house before the job is supposed to start and maybe just move those shingles somewhere where they're a little bit more secure, maybe into your garage, maybe into your backyard or something like that. Hey, if you're wondering why there even is a shingle shortage right now, click this video right here. Or if you just need some more information about roofing or the roofing process, click this playlist right here.